This thing is a 1979 Cub Cadet 1450. I actually had two of these. And again, I'll go into how I got two of them. This one's been extensively modified by myself. That's not the original engine. But anyways, again, we'll get into some details later. Let's try to get these agricultural tires on the front aired up, and I hope that thing didn't come off the bead, because I remember those tires being particularly challenging to put on those little wheels. I'm going to throw this into tripod mode. We'll just set it down here behind this beam and see what we can do. Well, this thing's probably going to be kind of loud. Still got a little air in it, that's good.
Air detected.
Sure I'm not plumber cracking you guys. That looks interesting. Something nested in my seat here. Oh yeah. Hey there, buddy. You're gonna have to go out of there. Go on. No, you don't come near me. You get out of here. It's not attack time. Yeah, so again, we're gonna have to shake some creatures out of here. Hopefully they didn't get into my wiring. Come on out. You come out of there. But anyways, you know, it's inhabited by mice. That was kind of to be expected. Hopefully he's out of there already. There's a battery box under this seat, and boy, they chewed my seat to oblivion. Clean up through the front. They got front, back, side to side. We'll probably have to get a vacuum on that. I'm going to go ahead and just pitch this seat cushion. It's dead. Poor thing. Now, next step's going to be, I want to flip this up to get to the battery tray, but before I do that, I kind of want to vacuum this crap out of here. And probably by running that vacuum, that'll scare the mice away further. But that stinks. I'm going to have to get a new seat cushion. So, already putting money in this thing I don't want to put into it. But anyways, I'm going to break here and get a shot back, and we'll clean this stuff up. Alright, now I'm going to end up seeing that same mouse in my house somewhere. But anyways, we're going to suck this up real quick. Had to move up to the M18 fuel line for this kind of job. M12 is going to cut it here. So I got 98% of that sucked out of the seat. There's a whole bunch down here in the floor pan in the garage. Now this has a Duralast Gold lawnmower battery in it, so with any luck, even though it's been sitting for a year plus, this might take a jump start and pop off for us. I'll have to see if there's any gas in it. I'll go ahead and do kind of a little reveal on the underhood. I'm sure there's things living under here too. That doesn't look too bad. Like they really took a liking to the seat. But it doesn't look like there's any gas in it, which is surprising. I swore that I had some gas in it, but that's okay. I've got
it ain't got no gas in it.
Shed here. Now there's a very little bit in there. I don't know if you can see in there or not. But this is a 22 horsepower Kohler Command. I can see it's sitting right up against this support for the hydraulic lift there. And this part stays stationary, so it's not like it's getting bashed in or anything. But that's how tight it is there. This part had to be fabricated and moved in. Frame rail had to be bumped out basically as a... Alright, so let this battery chill for a couple minutes. Hopefully it's okay. We'll try to hook the Gulu back up to it and see what it does now. Gulu did not turn on. Normally it does. And that was the beepity beep right away. Press boost button. Okay. Press the boost button. Boost button does nothing. What happens when I try to bump the starter? So, I push the starter, it stops beeping. So anyways, sorry for the wind noise here, folks. But I don't know, it's probably not a problem with the glue. The glue is probably fine. The little jump starter box down here is probably just fine.
Perfect.
So yes, it's weird. So because this EverStart Max Walmart charger, I've never had any issues with this at all. It's been rock solid in the half a dozen times I've actually needed to use it. It's saying that I've got the connections up there connected real well. It's saying there's not even a battery present, so try to hit the battery recondition, does nothing. Try to hit the charge, it does nothing. And that's one thing I don't like about the digital stuff is, you know, just give me one with a knob on it where when I turn it on, the lights in the room go dim and it sounds like Frankenstein's coming back to life. Give me something like that. So got some seafoam juice. I'm gonna dump that into the gas tank real quick. Now this particular bottle is probably 3 or 4 or 5 years old.
Perfect.
Had it down in the basement. So this stuff should be like jet fuel at this point. And that's what we need to get this old girl perked up. Now, last time I was out here and recorded a little bit, we were able to get the engine to roll over with one of my, with my only Gulu booster pack. Let that dribble down in there. And so it cranked over once, and then the Gulu started beeping, basically like there was no battery attached. And tried to bring out my, look at my nostrils, why don't you? Tried to bring out my regular battery charger, EverStart brand. Plugged it in, it just kept saying similar things, like it kept saying change or connect the cables. So it was basically as if getting this engine to spin one time with the booster pack was all this battery had in it. So I got to take these loose and don't need a knife, need a screwdriver, calm it down. Got to take these battery connections loose and chuck this old battery into the ocean. No, I'm just kidding. We'll take it down to AutoZone and get $10 for a core for it. Because you could take any battery there. Didn't have to buy one from them. Might end up having to find some different. I might try to find a ring terminal for this instead of the. I don't know if you can see down there, good enough or not. But it's got just a spade terminal on it, I guess is what you'd call that. And I guess it's for the better that one's a spade, because if you notice down here, I used some comically long bolts to put these terminals on, so hopefully this other one's a spade too, and I don't have to unthread this entire 3 feet of bolt. Yeah, that didn't feel real positive. Now it's already reaching a point where I can't see what I'm doing, so we
I'm talking about Mountain Dews, baby.
Wrapping this up early. Ooh, I had that ground on there real tight. I think what it is you want to turn the nut, not the bolt. So you get a wrench. And also note my 10 years ago fabrication skills here. Basically everything from the fenders up I made in my garage. And this guy, not really trying to brag. Some of it is interesting engineering. What size do you guys think that might be? A 3/8? Boom. First try. Alright, where is my pocket knife now? Well, we're getting unorganized already. There it is. Ooh, that's a gear wrench. Alright, so I just need you to hold still there while I gear wrench the daylights out of you. Pretty sure this one is a ring terminal that was originally on here. Knowing me, I only replaced the one out of necessity. Oh, don't want to ratchet no more. Well, as rusty as it is, you are able to spin it by hand. That's good. We'll just leave that other super long bolt on there when we take this down to AutoZone so they get a good laugh out of it. Yeah, that one has the proper ring terminal. The positive side over here must have rotted off, and that's how I had ended up with a spade. But for today, and probably for the rest of this tractor's life, spade is going to have to do. Now, the last time we popped in here, I hadn't been out here and messed with this thing in some time, and found that mice or a mouse had chewed the foam out of my seat cushion. We know it was getting a good ground before because it rolled over. And it's getting dark. We just got to get this other battery in here. This thing cranked up. Now, this was a Duralast Gold, and I'm sure had I properly maintained it like you're supposed to on a battery, it would have been fine, but I left it sitting out here for, I keep saying this has been sitting back here for 1 year. I think it might have actually been sitting back here for 2. So that's how my timeline works. Don't get old, folks. Oh. And I feel like I'm an old guy that's trying to prop himself up as a young guy doing young man's work on the first try. Alright, and then what we're going to want to do is drop this ratchet across these terminals a couple times. Just to kind of let this battery know what environment we expect it to be working in. Probably should get a hold down in here. I guess I got the bottom of the seat painted well enough that probably won't arc out on that, but who knows. Alright, so we got that one snug. This is the positive, so let's try it. Let's touch the frame as little as possible. I guess these do actually go together. They're just being stiff. Alright, so battery's installed. That should be fine. Anyways, we'll just put that in the cup holder there. It doesn't exist. And so I remember there are some tricks to getting this thing started. This switch panel I think I'm going to replace with something a little different. But now one thing I did remember when I was inside is that this is like a marine switch panel, and these guys up here are circuit breakers. So we'll just give those a tap because I think that's how those work. I never really read the instructions on this. Make sure all those are reset. I think, if I remember correctly, this one is that fuel solenoid. And I think I actually heard something click up front this time. So I think we might be good. And then this one, yeah, that loud clunk one, that's clearly the PTO. So we should be good. I believe that one is gas. So I'm going to try to crank this guy over a couple times. My choke is kind of hooked up and works a little bit. Or I'm sorry, that's the throttle. My choke is not hooked up. And so I got to actuate that by hand. Let's just start cranking on a little bit. Let's give it some juice. About half throttle. And let's just see what it does. Now, if this thing fires up, it's probably going to be pretty loud. And the camera may go for a ride. So just bear with me, folks. I'd like this thing to run. Okay, so we're not getting anything there. Let's try to push this in and see if that's all that it needs. That's the kill switch. Yep. Alright, well, it ran, so we know it's capable of running. Did run out of fuel pretty much immediately, so that's not good. Or at least that's what it sounded like happened. So probably what we just burned was whatever was left in the carb. There is still gas in here. Hopefully we can get this thing going. you know, I don't know. What do you guys think about this seat cover situation? Now, keep in mind, there's literally a bed pillow on the seat bucket, and then I stretched this eBay, Amazon, Homya seat cover over it. I'm not thrilled with it. I think I could do better. Anyways, I'm not real thrilled with this seat, like I said. And I know I can come up with something better. And you know, I was looking around the basement. I do have some different odds and ends down there that maybe I can use. And I was looking at something down there yesterday, and I was just like, eyeing it up, and I'm like, man, that would actually not only look really nice in there, it'd probably be super comfortable. So what I'm going to do is pop downstairs. I'm going to drag something up here, and it's going to require extensive modifications. Now, all right, guys, we don't have a lot of space to work with in here in this tiny garage, so I apologize for that. But basically what I'm wheeling in here, all right, not on the toes. Now you're probably, if you can even see what's happening here, you're probably looking at this thing going, what in the heck is wrong with this guy? Because there's a lot there, and I'm winded. This thing's heavy. Anyways, what we have here is a third row seat out of a 2016 Ford Transit Connect van. But we're going to take it apart. This headrest raises and lowers, or at least it used to. Thought it did. Yeah, it does. It goes way up. Now, that's the plan, guys. Oh, is to get this seat in this tractor. Maybe you can only put them up once. Once they're up, they're up. I don't think so. It's weird how that does that. Never seen a headrest do that. Probably should put on safety glasses. And you know, one. Yeah. At this point, I can seat the bit, and it's in all. There's no exposed teeth on the Torx tool, and it's just popping right out of there. So that one's probably going to have to be sawzalled, unfortunately, and I'll cut it close to the bracket so that hopefully once it's sawzalled out, I can get some vice grips on the remainder of the bolt and actually get it out of there. Although I guess it doesn't necessarily matter, because 2 inches away I've got a threaded thing. So this over here, I don't know if you guys can see the bolt I'm touching, but to stand here, maybe it doesn't like this one because it's not a Milwaukee bit, it's a Diablo. Well, what in the world? On this side and not on the fabric. Okay, let's change this blade. That's probably going to fight with me again because that one did. Let's see if this torch will burn through it, because this one, even just the factory tooth configuration, this one looks like it has a little more aggressive teeth, and that Diablo one, like I said, is well worn. Lord knows what I've cut with it. See, now she don't want to let go. There we go. Let's try this one. Now, of course, the torch is a little thicker width. And see, that Milwaukee brand one clamped on the first try. That opened up a little bit. There we go. Whomper fit. No. I think that's like a T. I think my set jumps from like T50 to T60. I'm not sure what that last one is, but this one, I think we got some. Well, it turns. That's better than some of the other ones we were dealing with. Now, what we don't want is for this bracket to fly loose violently and sever our testicles. Alright, if this comes apart the same way, this will be the last bolt we gotta take out for now. Well, we can kind of set the pieces in here and mock them up. I'll probably end up taking that other seat, original tractor seat, out. Alright, still got all our fingers and toes. Family jewels seem to check out. I think we're good. I'll show you guys that in a second. These are those little plate steel springy job things I was talking about. There's two of those, and then that's just mounted to the hatch where the battery goes. So, alright guys, so before I flip this over and get the other side ready, I just figured I'd show you how ugly the weld turned out. Oh yeah. Alright, put this way over here. Sorry for the angles. Get that uncooked. So yeah, I guess it's kind of welded together. Look at the beef. I'm not saying there's absolutely no need for two, but I feel like it would almost be overkill. This thing's definitely not going to recline or fold forward ever again. So this is where we're at after at least 2 days of trial and error trying to attach that seat to itself, basically just trying to reconfigure it for the use that I want. Anyways guys, I'm just sitting in my tractor chair that I finally got to hold itself together and having a couple swigs of a Rip It energy drink, sugar free, which has got me a solid buzz. And